People make movies and there's gotta be a twist. We can't just make a movie. No, you can make a movie. It's all good. Welcome back to Dramatic Evaluation. In this video, I'm going to be doing my monthly what I've been watching, talking about the movies and shows I've been watching in the month of March. It is currently 437 degrees inside and maybe 10 degrees cooler outside, and it's an oven in here, and I'm soaking wet. Okay, I'm soaking wet. It's all good, and yeah, let's get into it. All right. I watched a movie called Copshop on Netflix with Gerard Butler, and sorry about it, but the weird-looking Frank Grillo, however you say his name. This was pretty good. It was pretty solid action movie and pretty interesting. I had a good time with it, and I don't even really remember enough to go over the plot to see if you'd like to watch it, but if you like action movies, check it out. It's pretty good. The Strangers Chapter 3. I can't believe how quickly this came out after the second one, and it looked like, I guess they like filmed them together, and they even released like at the end of the second one, I remember seeing like a to be continued type like preview, like next on type of thing, and it was like weird. Why did they do that? But they just filmed them together. I guess they wanted to do a trilogy. It didn't seem like it was very well received in the first one, and so when they did the second one, they were like, well, screw it, we'll just do the second and third one together and just make them, and that way we don't get shut down and not get to make the third one. I don't know, but it was okay. It wrapped everything up, and the kind of little backstory of the killers and stuff like that, which I wasn't super hyped on. It's not what those movies are about. Strangers are about them being strangers and not being anybody. I don't like how it ended up being with the one guy who was the kind of main, or one of the killers, I guess. I don't know. It was fine. It was a decent enough movie, but I just was a little bit let down with that and didn't really care for showing the killers and having their backstory like that. It's called The Strangers, okay? Heavier Trip on Prime. This is a interestingly funny movie. It looked like it was going to be a comedy. It's about these like metal guys in a metal band that like escape prison to go like play a show, and it was pretty good. It was kind of like one of those kind of heartfelt comedy on the road traveling to go to an event type of movies. And it was decent. I think it was like Finnish. So they were like speaking Finnish in the movie sometimes, but then English other times. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was funny. Licorice Pizza, trash. Why again? There's all these movies, and it's so wild to me when they're the ones that are like hyped up, like, oh man, this movie's so good. This is Paul Thomas Anderson, so that's why. Like anything, he's got a reputation, so anything he makes, it's gonna be regarded as like good, I guess. I don't know, but like dude, what a boring, uneventful, stupid movie where I don't like one of the two main characters, and it's just I don't know, but I just don't understand why this movie was made. The only thing that was cool about this movie was like seeing the Haim sisters, like all three of them playing sisters and all being in the movie and being pretty good actors too, by the way. But yeah, I just don't understand why they made that. Good Fortune. Wow, underrated as can be, dude. Like, I only heard this movie sucked and was terrible and a whiff and a miss and this and that. They don't make comedies anymore, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I agree, they don't make comedies anymore. So, oh, cool, they finally make one, and then everyone, like, hates on it. I'm like, okay, well, let's just watch it. This movie was funny, dude. First of all, Seth Rogen and Aziz Ansari, like, what are we doing? This movie is funny. It got plenty of jokes, plenty of laughs. I very much enjoyed it and thought it was funny. Keanu Reeves... Let's get real. I love Keanu Reeves. He's great. He's Bill and Ted. Dude, so good. The John Wick movies, he's great in those because he doesn't need to do a whole lot of talking, but like, let's get real. He's a terrible actor. He's like, not only not a good actor, he's like simply a bad actor. And in this movie in particular, the way he's like delivering lines and like, it's wild. It's wild. So my only thought of why this movie got hate and why people said it sucked and wasn't good is because of Keanu Reeves. I think if they had someone else playing this angel character that he plays and have him just act normally and be normal and deliver lines like a normal freaking person, I don't think this movie would have gotten the hate that it got. That's just my theory, because to say this movie isn't funny or it was just a whiff and like for comedy, it's crazy to me. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. If you can get past Keanu Reeves just not being good at acting, dude. War Machine on Netflix. I talked about that in a video. I'll link that at the end of this if I remember to. Very solid, very fun action movie. Thoroughly enjoyed that. If you want to hear me talk any more about that, check out the video. The Bluff. This is a movie on Prime, like a pirate movie, where pirates come to kind of claim the treasure that this pirate husband and wife have. And the wife is seemingly just a homely wife and not a pirate, but then she turns out to be all gnarly and is fighting and kicking the crap out of everybody and having to fight for survival and protect her kids on this island where these pirates are coming to attack and try to take the treasure. And it was pretty fun. It was a fun action movie for sure. Had some cool set pieces and action sequences, and it's decent if you like that kind of movie. Archive on Netflix. Wow, so good. I was very surprised by this movie. It's a definite slow burn. There's lulls, and it's a slow kind of build up to what happens at the end. And what happens at the end is awesome. Is a very good twist that they put in there. You're thinking one thing the whole time, and then all of a sudden it's oh whoa, they do a pretty good job, I feel like, of throwing you for a loop. And it's a little cheap because they do a good job because of I can't explain it without spoiling it. But it's just when the twist happens, you think back on the stuff, you're well, you didn't need, none of this would have been a thing if this is what is actually happening. But whatever, it's fine. It was good. Very well made movie. It was real cool, old school sci-fi, technology stuff and just vibe and feel. And seemingly what the movie is a guy who's isolated in this base out in the wilderness, and he's building robots, and he's trying to get the next one he builds is a little more complex than the previous one, and he's trying to kind of build a humanoid AI kind of robot. And then I said, what happens at the end is just really cool. So I recommend that one. That one was very good. Like I said, slow burn, but it's worth it, and it's a good watch. The Wrecking Crew on Prime. I was surprised by this one too, honestly. There were some laughs in here where I was expecting them to try to be funny but be cringe. And I don't know, typically I'm not Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa, I don't feel are that great of actors, and I don't really, it's kind of I don't hate them, but I'm not all about them. It's whatever. But Momoa was pretty funny, and Bautista was the straight man in this, so he didn't, he did a couple things that were kind of funny because with the straight man stuff, but there were a lot more laughs in here than I was expecting there to be, and there was solid action, good action sequences. The story was fine, not super unique or overly convoluted, but just it made sense, and it was a decent kind of revenge type of story, I guess. And it was pretty good, honestly. If you like an action comedy, more heavy on the action, I would check that out. Sisu, Road to Revenge, pretty solid. The first movie these movies are both just high action, crazy, over the top sequences of violence and action, but things that are so impossible to happen just happen. He gets them into these insane situations. It's this guy traversing the landscape of I thought in the first one he was in Germany because he's fighting Nazis, and this one he's on his way back to Finland. So I'm not really sure, honestly, where geographically it is, but he's going across the country and encountering all these Nazis and having to fight them and murder the crap out of them, and it's fun. The first one I think was better than this one, but they definitely had some crazy scenes and crazy. It's just you got to suspend your disbelief for this one for sure, more than the average action movie. There's just some things where it's that would not happen. That's not possible. But it's take yourself out of that. You're watching a movie and it's fine. But this dude gets just obliterated by the end of the movie, and he's still up and all good. It's just it's a whole body is just whipped and scarred and gashes and everything, but he's still kicking everybody's butt. So, but yeah, they're fun. That movie was fun. If you like those, it's a cool hour and a half. You can get through that real quick, and it's a fun one. And then Mercy on Prime. This is a Chris Pratt movie, and I wasn't really sure what to expect with this one. I didn't watch a trailer for this. I just like Chris Pratt. It looked like it was kind of an action or kind of crime or whatever movie. So I checked it out, and it was okay. Certainly not awesome and greatest movie ever, but it was fine. Basically, he like wakes up in a chair, and it's this futuristic like court system where he's been accused of murder, and he has access to this AI that he's talking to that can access like cameras and phones and things like that. So he has the opportunity to prove his innocence. So he's like, I didn't do this. What the heck? Like, and so he's trying to like talk to the cops on the outside and find like all these clues and evidence to try to exonerate himself. And then there's a twist, and then another twist on top of the twist at the end. And so that was where it was kind of like, okay, dude, like, relax. Like, you don't even need a twist in movies. Like, I feel like people make movies and there's gotta be a twist. We can't just make a movie. No, you can make a movie. It's all good. Okay? It's all good. But if you have to have a twist, cool, fine. Do a twist. But wait, we're now at the point where all these movies do this and have a twist. I go, we gotta twist it again. Twist it again. Okay? Like, hey, relax, dude. Like, if you want us to know what's happening or care, like, it's just by the time, I don't know, man. Like, whatever. Okay? The movie was fine. Watch it if you want to. Prepare yourself for kind of a dumb, twisted ending. All right, in shows, I watched Fallout Season 2. Pretty solid. This first season was great. Second season was pretty good. It took a few episodes for me to get into it. It was a little bit slow, getting me back into the mode of it all. But it was good. It's an entertaining show. It's fun. It's a fun, cool world, cool characters. And yeah, if you liked Season 1, definitely watch Season 2. It's good. 56 Days, I did a video on this. This is a show on Prime. It is pretty solid. I really liked this show. It was a kind of murder mystery type of show with a really unique way of doing that, where you find in the very beginning of the show, there's a body in the tub that's like melting away, and cops are investigating like what the heck happened here. And then it cuts back to 56 days before that, and it's these couple that meet each other. So you're kind of like, oh, did like one of them kill the other one? Which one is the dead body? And I guess we'll find out as the story unfolds. And then there's sort of it veers off and kind of it leads you one direction or the other, and kind of you just constantly aren't really sure. And then, in my opinion, like toward the end, you kind of do get pretty sure. So by the time they reveal it, it's kind of like, yeah, I know, like. So, I don't know. But it was good. Like, I definitely recommend that show if you like any kind of murder, mystery, drama type of stuff. Dark Winds, Season 1, and started Season 2. There's a show on AMC Plus, I think, or just on AMC or whatever. And this is a solid show. It's these, like, reservation police, the Navajo police. There's, like, a robbery, but then there's also, like, murder. And they're, like, just investigating and trying to solve and put this stuff together, solve the crimes and stuff. And there's a little bit of like a supernatural element in there a little bit, but not really. I'm not sure if that's what this show is going to get into or not, but it's mainly just like the crime aspect. But it was pretty solid, man. Like some good drama, good storytelling, good characters. I liked everything they did with like unfolding the story and showing who the people involved in the crime were, and then like having our heroes in the show solve the crime and all that stuff. And it was like what it comes down to at the end, and there's some action at the end of the season. It was pretty solid. I enjoyed it. So I think it's like 4 or 5 seasons of this show, so definitely gonna keep watching that. I recommend that show. It's good. I think it's on Netflix too. Reacher Season 1, I finally got around to watching this, and it was pretty good. Honestly, it got better and better as it went along, and the last couple episodes were pretty solid, pretty action-packed, and, all the stakes are high, and everything's going down at the end of that season, and it was pretty solid. I started Season 2, and I'm not really feeling it so far. It's just totally different. I really liked the small-town vibe and the couple of characters that he's kind of going through the whole story with in Season 1, and then Season 2, they're just like, okay, bye. And it's just a whole other thing, and those characters aren't even in it anymore. I thought that was quite weird. I thought they were going to find a way for him to just stick around with them and like do whatever. I don't know, have them leave with him. Just weird that they're not in it. I guess we'll see. I'm early on in it, so maybe they come back around, maybe they don't, but I thought that was weird. But all in all, pretty good show. Action, and then kind of like crime, mystery, like trying to solve the crime and whatever. But a lot of it's action heavy for sure. And that dude just got in trouble for beating up his neighbor in the streets, apparently. I don't know a whole lot about it. Little things keep coming out about it. But, the last thing I saw was dude got up in his face and was pushing him in front of his kids. And the whole thing was like, he beat him up in front of his kids. Okay, well, if a guy's coming up and beating, like pushing me and getting in my face, and my kids are right there, yeah, I'm gonna set the example and I'm gonna put you on the ground. So I don't blame him, dude. Like, what are you supposed to do? Don't get up in someone's face. Like, have a conversation with them. Don't get all up in somebody's business if you don't want to get pushed back, okay? And that's pretty much it. Started a couple other shows, but haven't finished them, so I'll save those for next video, and we'll wrap up here. So that's it for what I was watching in the month of March. Handful of good ones in there, a couple that were not so good, but mostly either decent or solid. So that was a good month. I think there were not too many duds in there. So that's it for this video. Stay tuned. Until next time.